Hello and welcome.
Playoffs.
Whoa, Jesus. Hello and welcome to Comic Conspiracy episode 209, your NBA playoff podcast. This is the week of Celtic, Lakers, 19. What? I don't know. Those are the only two sports teams I know in basketball. I know the Celtics. Are they in the playoffs?
No.
Then I don't give a fuck about them. Sorry, Toby.
So we're back to being the Comics Conspiracy?
Yes, we're the Comic Conspiracy podcast for the week of May 12th, 2015. I am Ryan Higgins, who is here with me this
Brock
week.
Sigger?
Bryce is back.
Bryce, man. Toby.
That's Toby. And Charlie, unfortunately, once again out.
But
Kids and family garbage. Whatever, Charlie. But filling in for him from the great state of Taiwan.
Is Taiwan a state?
From the foreign nation of Virginia. James Jokisch.
Zub. Oh.
No. Oh, thank you.
Jim,
Hacksaw.
welcome back, Jim.
Thanks a lot.
Like my intro for you.
Yeah, I like that.
All
That
right.
was pretty good. You've been planning that for a while.
I like scaring the crap out of my screaming playoffs.
Yeah, it scared the crap out of everyone listening to this podcast, too. Jim, Bryce, I don't want to go like 3 episodes in a row on this, but what do you guys think of Avengers Age of Ultron? Spoiler alert.
First of all,
for
I saw
Avengers Age of Ultron.
First of all, I saw Age of Ultron before any of you fools.
But you did? You saw it like 2 weeks before
I saw
us.
it on April 22nd in Taiwan.
You son of a bitch.
It was awesome. I wanted to spoil it
Wait.
bad.
Did you see it in 3D or in 2D?
No. Always 2D.
shut
Always
up.
2D. Don't get me on the 3D. Nope, always 2D. It was fantastic. I loved it. I'm tired of explaining all the stuff to my friends about it over there who don't know shit about comic books. But yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. I loved all the Easter eggs in it. I really did.
I will say this: when Jim posted on Facebook, he saw it and it was like nah. And we're like, cool, you got to see it early. And then when we saw the horrendous 3D version, at the end when they showed that like main credit thing where they're looking at the statue and stuff, I'm literally sitting there in my brain going, yeah, they better have that solicited in previews because Jim's getting like 2.
They have not solicited that in previews.
He's getting the
Nor
he's
have
getting
they
the
put
one
it on
from
the
movie,
internet. Nor has it been
and
available
the colored
anywhere.
version.
Charlie will get that too.
Oh man,
I'll buy it. That one was an awesome statue.
that was an awesome statue.
So before we go into some Easter egg things I know you want to talk about, Bryce, what do you think? You came with us. You barely made it, but you made it to the theater with us opening night. Remember you sat next to me? Yes.
Oh, because the fucking traffic.
Is that the day you forgot that you had a ticket for me?
You apparently told me you were coming, but I didn't know you were. I thought you were going with Charlie.
No.
I did not realize you were coming that night.
Well, anyway.
But you could make it anyway, so it was fine.
Yeah, that was the car accident with the child that was not hurt but was in a car accident.
Okay.
Anyway,
Your child was in a car accident?
Did I say mine at any point in time?
No. I just,
Whoa.
Nope.
just heard child in car accident.
I'm just trying to tell a story, and you're like, your child? It's like,
It's not your wife, Bryce. You don't have to talk to him like that.
All right, so Age of Ultron for Bryce. Aside from a severe lack of X-Men in that movie,
Oh, there were. Well, I was going to say there were X-Men all over the place, but not after a new story from this week. So we'll get back to that.
dare.
We'll talk about that later.
They were never X-Men, you bastard.
they were never mutants.
I know, that's what he was getting at.
All X-Men are mutants. It's all the same. All mutants are X-Men. I mean, they're
There you
all
go.
X-Men.
That's what you
Yeah,
meant.
that's what
I loved this movie. Here's the thing about this movie. It was... Okay, wait. Before I get into my real review, I want to put on my troll review hat.
How many infographics have you made for this movie about the destruction and murder that the Avengers caused?
Dude, so if you go back and watch Man of Steel and you watch buildings falling over
There we
and
go.
not...
Just like in this movie? Okay, I'm right
Hold
there
on,
with
hold
you.
on, hold on. So let me just preface this with I haven't listened to the past couple of podcasts, so I don't know what trolley comments you made. But if you go out...
You know exactly what Charlie comments.
You're right on course. Just so you know.
That's why I'm saying this is because I'm taking a guess as to what you fucking said. So the buildings falling over in Man of Steel and nobody's saving anybody. In this one, they go out of their way for like half an hour of the movie to like save people.
Yeah, they do.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, we get it. You're saving people.
Yes,
You're
they
the
did.
Avengers. We get it. You're saving people. Man of Steel, fucking skyscrapers are dominoing all over the place. And Superman's like, oh, I gotta go break some guy's neck. I don't have time to save anybody.
Except, the entire human race and all of mankind and the entire Earth. But yeah, no, he didn't save anyone in that movie.
Because of the electronica thing that General Zod set up that he was somehow able to stop, even though he's some neophyte Kryptonian. Anyway, Avengers was fucking great. Top 3, but not number 1. So, which is to say number 2 or 3. I think Avengers 1 was better, but I think that Avengers 2 didn't do anything. This is hard to describe. Didn't do anything worse than Avengers 1, but Avengers 1 did more things better. At first, I didn't like how cheeky Ultron was until you mentioned, after we saw the movie in the lobby, actually, that he was actually, robot Tony Stark, which is true and made a lot of sense. So that rectified that a lot for me. I didn't think that they'd be able to pull off Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and I really think that they did.
But you still prefer Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past, Quicksilver, I still like more.
I was just going to propose that question. Which one he liked better?
Yeah, no.
Which Quicksilver is better?
Well,
let's look. The kitchen scene. I mean, that scene is in comic movies scenes is one of the best ever.
Marvel and Fox have not confirmed this, but the belief is you get Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in X-Men Days of Future Past. You get Quicksilver. I mean, you have Quicksilver she's the kid. She's supposed to be that little girl, right? You have Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in Avengers. You get Quicksilver stays in the X-Men books. Scarlet Witch goes over to the Avengers. Now they're split, and you'll never have either in the other universe. That's how they get away with it.
Wait, what?
This is the agreement.
Is this fact or this rumor?
There's no reason, or there's no way I believe any other thing is true. You will get more Quicksilver in the X-Men movies because he is going to be. This has to be the agreement. It makes no sense otherwise.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Pro. Is Quicksilver, obviously, so he's dead in the Avengers universe.
Right.
No fucking shit, he's not going to show up much more.
Kevin Feige said, no flashbacks, no retcon, no LMD, no nothing. You will never see that character again. That's why. Because this has to be what the agreement is.
So that makes a lot of sense. Except that Quicksilver, I mean, like, is he going to show up in Age of Apocalypse? Because he was never in that story ever. Is he going to show up in X-Force? Nope.
Quicksilver
Nope. So there's the next 3 Fox X-Men related movies that he's not showing up in.
Quicksilver was not in Days of Future Past either, so... I mean, he could be in anything.
Well played.
Yeah. No, he'll absolutely be in Apocalypse. Everyone's going to be in Apocalypse because that's it. Yeah. It's over after that.
Dude, fucking Apocalypse is going to be so bomb.
Everyone that's ever been in any of these movies is going to be in that one because they're all done after that.
They did just show a picture of him with a shaved head.
Bryce just stood up.
Quicksilver?
No. They just showed the guy playing Professor X.
Yeah. James McAvoy.
James McAvoy with a shaved head.
Yeah.
They shaved his head for Age of Apocalypse.
Yep.
And
it's about fucking time.
He looks like Patrick Stewart.
If I had one problem with Days of Future Past...
Bryce, can I just say, you really need to be a politician. Like, the shirt you're wearing, you got the mic, you're, like, walking around. You just need to do that thing where the politicians put their thumb over their four...
Politician or
four closed fingers?
Politician or a game show host, one of the two. We're not quite sure.
Oh no! This is like laid back.
Game show host
is like laid back.
Well, he did
first term senator.
Cable quiz.
Yeah, he's addressing his audience. Yeah.
Okay, can I keep going?
Yes,
you can.
Fuck, I forget what I was going to say. What were we just arguing about?
You're talking about
X-Men Apocalypse is going to be, to X-Men that Captain America. Captain America Civil War is going to be to the Avengers universe.
Oh, it was that if Days of Future Past had any problem with it was that they made Professor X a junkie. I understand you got to change some things, but to make him a junkie, it's like you could have gotten the exact same story across without making him a junkie. Not to mention myriad other little
What are you
minor...
saying?
Let's go
what
back
do you think?
to
Professor
Age
X
of
would never do drugs?
Age of Apocalypse is going to be awesome.
Let's go back to Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron! So, Age of Ultron was a very good movie. Top 3 Marvel Studios movies because of the amalgamation of all of the superheroes. Let's understand that and agree that it was not as good as Avengers 1. Avengers 1 did more things better. Avengers 2 did a lot of things really well that Avengers 1 didn't do, but Avengers 1 did more things better. I think that the fighting a universal foe was probably better for Avengers 2, whereas Ultron probably could have been handled by Thor. Or maybe a Thor and Iron Man team-up. You didn't need the whole Avengers. Oh! Have you guys seen the fucking Jeremy Renner on the piano song about Hawkeye? He does it on Jimmy Fallon or one of the Jimmy shows. Anyway, you should go YouTube that. That's good.
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Anyway, it's funny. So you should go watch Age of Ultron. It was very good. Top 3, way better than Man of Steel in that they're actually humans.
I'm glad you're on the podcast now. I got somebody in my corner.
Yeah.
Oh, because you also hated it. That's right. Good taste.
Well, why don't you have a seat? Okay. Take a seat. Why don't you have a seat?
Anyway, it was a really good movie.
It was.
Let's move on. I agree. But they actually saved people. I can see they killed Quicksilver so that Scarlet Witch, they get to keep her, and X-Men get to keep Quicksilver because he's a better Quicksilver in that. But good for Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon is so good. He knows how to get right to that line of being corny and too nerdy, but he doesn't cross the line. We were laughing out loud at the jokes. I mean, Hawkeye, I think, has the best line in that movie.
No, I'd be curious to see when you listen to our review of it.
I would love to listen to that review and then come on this podcast because I'd probably be so angry.
No, I think you'll agree with us. Well, hold on.
But I did see it a second time just to make sure of my feelings.
Listen to our review and then listen to our second take after our second review after we saw it in
the
2D.
digital.
Yeah.
This is my without having listened to either. This is my 10-second interpretation of what your reviews are probably like. The first one, the 3D, you ruined the whole movie. Oh God, Avengers, it's not as good. It can never be as good as number 1. And then number 2 was, it was better. It was a lot better, but it still really wasn't very good. It was a lot better, but it wasn't that good.
Don't forget the trolling about Man of Steel.
You're almost right.
And they save people.
He's dead on. What are you talking about? I've heard your reviews
It's
on the
so
last.
boring. They save people. What are they doing saving people? They didn't break anyone's neck.
What the hell was up with that pool of water in Thor?
Yeah, that was a bad scene.
Well, did you read about what Joss Whedon was saying about the cave?
Yeah, they cut a bunch of stuff and they added a bunch of stuff to
Marvel was chokeholding him, you will put that in the movie.
So, this is one thing that's often brought up against DC, that, you had 19 writers on Green Lantern, and, Man of Steel is all over the place, and blah, blah, blah. Look, Marvel's no different. If you think Joss Whedon wrote and directed this movie, you're stupid. He did not write and direct this movie. He wrote part of it, he directed a lot of it, but he was not the sole person responsible for the creation of this movie. So much of this movie is dictated from up on high, and he now that he's quit, he's going and raging about how bad the experience was. Because these movies are not made by one person. These are made by hundreds of people.
I would love to see a director's cut of Age of Ultron from Joss Whedon.
Here's the problem. DC was just too stupid, and they credited all their writers in the Green Lantern movie. If you credited everyone that wrote Age of Ultron, it would be like a 5-minute, fucking scroll of names. Because 1,000 people are involved in the creation of this
I
movie.
do want to really move on from Age of Ultron because this is already too long, and I know that I'm going to go listen to the old podcast, and it's going to be all Age of Ultron anyway. But is that a fucking surprise to anybody? I mean, did Joss Whedon being in the movie industry for so long, his father was in the movie industry,
not the
was
Joss
he
Whedon.
at all surprised that it's tons of fucking hands in the fingers in the pie? Wait, what's the expression?
Fingers in the pie. Sure.
Cookie jar. Hands in the cookie jar. Tobias.
Fucking import.
Tobias, yeah. He's
No,
like,
hands in the cookie jar means you're stealing. Hands in the pie, I mean, like fingers in the pie is too many people cooking it.
No,
anyway,
too many cooks.
Too many
In the
cooks.
kitchen.
cooks in the kitchen. Oh, that's what I was going with, James. Thank you.
Too many cooks.
Okay.
So
Let's move on as quickly as possible. But
Because this is turning
we
into
didn't
a
do any
hashtag
Easter
Bryce
eggs.
briefly episode.
oh, Easter eggs! The Easter eggs were so good. So Veronica. Does anybody know why Veronica was named Veronica?
I've read about it, but I don't.
Kelly
remember
was
why.
like, sorry, my wife was like, why is that Veronica? Veronica was because Hulk loves Betty.
"Oh yeah, I read this. Yeah."
Okay, Betty Ross.
Betty Ross,
and
right.
Betty and Veronica.
Right, yeah,
Veronica, being the arch nemesis of Betty. So Veronica's.
We're going to talk about them pretty soon too.
What was the deal about Friday?
I forget. I did read it, but anyway. So yes, the Jocasta Easter egg was awesome.
Jocasta was one of the files. I wish it would have loaded the Jocasta.
And there was something
into the armor.
There was something like in the Cap dream when the Scarlet Witch. Oh, by the way, how hot was Scarlet Witch? Ooh. Out of nowhere, I thought my whole comic book reading existence that she was totally not hot, and then in this movie. Yeah.
Did you watch Iron Man 2
so you know,
or Iron Man 3 or Avengers 1 or...
She was not in those movies.
Just so you guys know...
Wait, what did
Black
I say?
Widow?
Dude, I just said Scarlet Witch.
Oh, I heard Black Widow.
No, Scarlet Witch.
That's some fucking like subconscious fucking something right there.
I'm going to know what you think about Ryan Higgins.
I'm going to rewind this. I heard Black Widow.
No,
red light just went on.
Everybody was creeping out about how close out, how the relationship between Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. You guys watch Godzilla? I mean, those two actors were actually married in Godzilla.
Is it the same two actors?
The same two actors.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wait, are they really married, those two?
No, they're not really married. I'm saying in another movie.
They just happen to get the same two?
They just happen to get the same two.
Oh, I have to watch Godzilla. Anyway, yeah, dude, she was really hot. But let's...
she has surpassed her sister for sure.
Really quick want to say, in the Cap dream scene, the band playing, it has their name on the background. Did you see that Easter egg?
I did.
It's like the Neil Thomas band, Roy Thomas.
Roy Thomas.
Okay, yes. I got it right. Yes. Or the second time.
Jim, why are you a huge Roy Thomas fan?
Roy Thomas did a lot of the Invaders books.
Something like he
completely just blows it off.
Yeah,
no respect for Invaders.
No, I love the Invaders way more than anybody else but you at this table. I'm just trying to remember exactly.
Roy Thomas also did like the All-Star Squadron Infinity. Roy Thomas is...
Something like he created... He didn't create Captain America, but it was something like...
He did a lot of books in the 70s. I mean,
Roy Thomas was one of the first...
The first writers on Captain America?
No. Roy Thomas was one of the first comic fans that became a professional comic writer. Okay. He came from like the fanzine scene, and he was like an early comic fan that worked his way into writing for Marvel and DC. Okay. Which now everyone that writes comics was a fan. But back then that was kind of a new thing. So you have a lot of the guys in the 60s at DC and 70s at Marvel that grew up as fans of these characters. It was the first time that happened.
Can we talk about how Rick Remender is ruining comics?
You want to talk about Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so we're going to move on.
Look, there are 1,000...
Rick Remender is not ruining this. This is Marvel, hands down. This is not... Rick Remender coming up with this. This is Marvel from on high saying Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are no longer mutants.
I know.
Rick Remender, you have to write that story.
But can we just acknowledge that somebody owes me a week of books because they are, in fact, not Inhumans.
Are they New Mutants?
They were created by the High Evolutionary, and the High Evolutionary
does not create Inhumans.
It's true. That's very true.
Yeah, but there's some connection between
you
the Inhumans.
tight-fisted bastard. Look, so I understand that Marvel was responsible for this, not Rick Remender. But can I just say how fucking disappointed I am in Marvel and Rick Remender, just in general? Like,
what?
Can you tell the story for the people that don't know what the fuck we're talking about?
Quicksilver and Scarlet. Well, Marvel can't make movies about mutants, so they're making their characters not mutants anymore.
Or getting rid of their book.
And
there's been no mention about the High Evolutionary in MCU.
You've heard the rumor of what's happening with all the X titles post Secret Wars?
No.
Oh, this is going to spin you up.
Wait, Toby, come on, get it set up. Get it set up.
So the rumor...
I don't like this whole video recording thing.
The rumor is that the Terrigen mists that exploded from the Inhuman city of Atlan during Attilan, sorry.
So the fart cloud on
Attilan,
Earth
during Infinity is actually poisonous to mutants. So all the mutants on Earth are going to get in a spaceship and fly to another planet.
No, I don't even believe that. That's not even worthy of a reaction.
That's the rumor.
Is that Moon Utopia?
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe they can go to an asteroid and call it Asteroid M.
Mars Utopia?
What the fuck?
Attilan's on the moon.
No, it's not.
Attilan.
It's on the blue area of the moon.
It was.
Oh, okay.
And it is no longer. Oh, okay. When's the last time you read any...
It's been a while.
No, Bryce, what they need to do is they need to go colonize an asteroid and then just call it Asteroid M.
Yeah.
And then you can just live there.
That would make things a lot more simple. And then if they ever needed to come back, they could just land it in the bay.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, that is some malarkey.
So various characters are not going to be mutants, and possibly the mutants are going to get shuttled off the Earth. And Marvel...
That is... Keep going.
We have no idea what's going to happen to Reed, Sue, and
Johnny?
The Thing. No, the Thing after Secret Wars. I don't think they've announced any of that. But Johnny's joining the Inhumans, so Human Torch is joining the Inhumans. He's like shacking up with Medusa again. So
Medusa?
yeah.
Medusa oblongata. Fuck that.
Yeah, the picture is her and him and Medusa. Like him, Medusa, and like someone else.
Oh, he hooked up with Crystal before, but Crystal is married to Pietro now.
Isn't he on the cover with Silk?
Yeah. Well, he's just banging everyone.
He's like, I want to fuck my way through a Marvel universe.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
fiery slut. All right, cool.
That they've shown.
That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm disappointed in that rumor and know that it's not going to come to fruition, although I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
That's very disappointing.
Okay.
But, dude, there are so many examples of them being mutants, like in Extinction Agenda, when the Genosians had the collars around Quicksilver and he couldn't use his powers. It's like, yeah, that's because you're a fucking mutant. That's not because you're some Inhuman that the collar happens to work on. And then M-Day, when M-Day comes along and he can't use his powers, it's because he's a mutant. Okay, so there's also that.
Now that our audience is partially deaf.
Oh, dude, I'm just so disappointed. I'm so angry. I mean, Scarlet Witch says no more mutants. Like, the whole thing about, like, they going through 60 years of Magneto being their father just to be like, oh, we need the movie rights. No.
Well, early on, I mean, the original story was that she wasn't their parents. It was these two other people. Then he kind of takes them in.
Right,
well, regardless of whether or not he's their parents, they've been mutants forever.
But in
the earliest time, they thought that Miss America and the Wizard were the parents of Scarlet Witch and Pietro. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Such a great name.
I know, and in a yellow costume too. But regardless, they established later on that Magneto and Magda were their parents, and Magda. After Magneto went nuts and started...
Is that the cow lady?
Huh? No. Magda is...
No.
Magda,
the cow lady.
No,
I know who you're talking about.
No. Magda was... the cow lady was the nurse.
Yeah.
But,
of the New Men.
But Magda went and stayed in High Evolutionary's place and gave birth to the twins. And then she disappeared. Nobody ever knew what happened to her. But that's their origin right now.
Anyway, dude, it's some bullshit. I mean, they go through 60 years of Professor X seeing them on Cerebro. What the fuck?
Right,
he sees all mutants.
Just so you know,
and those two on Cerebro. Like, that's fuck. It's
just so you know, in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Jim Valentino run, there is an incident that happens on Earth that all the mutants leave Earth and follow a mutant leader to another planet. Okay.
Are you talking about the Rapture that Rick Remender just did in Uncanny Avengers?
No. This is back in the 90s, back in the Valentino run. This is
back in the good old days.
This is before the War of the Worlds on Earth, and all the mutants actually left Earth for a reason.
Well, hold on, Jim. You have to say this. This is back in the 90s during the year 3000.
Yes, that's true. Yes,
he left that part out.
Yeah.
Is that a DC reference?
Wait. No, not in 3000. All right, the 3000 timeline. Okay,
right.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
This was the Guardians comic from the 90s that took place in the year 3000.
But according to their history,
did the 90s Guardians take place in 3000?
Yeah. Or whatever.
That's why they call it Guardians 3000.
Whatever year it was. It was like was it 2980 or 2990?
I assumed that shit took place in like the year 5000 or something like that.
No, I think it's 1,000 years. It's like Futurama.
My point is, this is a storyline they've used before.
A Guardians of the Galaxy Futurama crossover. That would be sick.
Oh, Jesus.
Where'd that come from?
I have a question.
I said it takes place 1,000 years in the future, like Futurama. And now I want a Legion of Superheroes, Guardians of the Galaxy, and...
See, that would be good. Guardians of the Galaxy, Legion of Superheroes crossover.
Yeah, and Futurama.
Okay, back to reality of comic books, which is not real. What did you talk about in the other podcast about how Thanos set everybody on their missions for the gems?
Yes.
What? For what? For Age of Ultron?
About how there's four gems.
Higgins is just not listening to you today, dude.
No, you're talking about Age of Ultron?
Sounds like a day that ends in Y.
I think it's just weird sound effect day.
You stopped talking about Age of Ultron. Is that what you're talking about? The movie?
Yeah, back on Age of Ultron again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure before we go too far away from it, because Quicksilver Scarlet Witch is still kind of about Age of
Yeah.
Ultron.
Okay.
So you already talked about that.
I believe that. I don't hear anyone else saying
Should I
that,
raise
but
my
I
hand?
firmly believe it.
What? What?
That
Nobody's paying attention to that.
that
know.
Thanos sent Loki with the staff to go get the rest.
No, that's not a question.
No, that's not a question. I know, but he also sent what's his face?
No, he
Red
I
Skull?
believe he
No.
imprinted
No.
Ultron on the mind gem in order to
infiltrate
the event.
Tony Stark and everything.
Yes,
Right.
He gave up one gem in order to try and collect two.
collect
or
both of
three.
them.
So we've
right.
You guys, I'm sorry for not having listened to the
That's
previous podcast. You guys talked about how we have 4, we're missing 2,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
missing time and soul.
I had said that there was a 5th. We were mistaken. I thought
You were mistaken.
I thought that the collector
had one already.
2.
No.
but he only had 1.
He only has one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, for a moment he had two. He had the ether, and he had the reality gem, the
power motherfucking gem.
Power gem. Okay,
The
power gem.
sphere.
Yeah.
Fine.
From Guardians. So, in my opinion, we get nothing in Black Panther, we get nothing in Ant-Man, we get nothing in Cap, Civil War, we will get 1 in Ragnarok, and we will get 1 in Guardians 2, and then we will have all 6. Yes? No?
we'll get-
Quick poll?
So
Quick
Guardian
poll?
gets 2?
We'll get Claw. We'll get Claw
What?
in
They get 2 of them
in
Guardians
Black Panther.
in the first movie and the second
He'll get
movie?
his claw put on.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
Claw's not
think
a,
one's going to be found elsewhere?
No, I'm just
No.
saying that there. I mean, so because there's
They
a
can't all be on
possibility
Earth.
that there could be one in Inhumans because Inhumans comes out before Infinity War
They
2.
could
Yeah.
have one in Doctor Strange.
No, Inhumans is after.
Yes, they could have one in Doctor Strange, but like there would be an awful lot of like Earth-related universal gems if it was in Doctor
That's true.
Strange.
They can't have too many on Earth. They
So
gotta
that's
go
why I'm
somewhere
saying
else.
like Guardians, they could have it come from fucking anywhere.
But Doctor Strange could have it come from fucking
That's true.
magic space.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it would be the
Fifth
Soul Gem if it were
dimension.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
Soul Gem's already in
Nope.
Vision.
No, that's the
No, that's
Oh, that's a
Mind
mind gem. Yeah, that's
Yep,
right.
I forgive you for getting that wrong. So
Well, they're not any gems. This is the only one they've named, the mind gem. They have not named any of the others. They are not direct one-to-one.
okay,
with the
well,
comics.
so this may be a little nerdy, but there's the whole like okay, so you're probably right, but there is a Marvel wiki with quotes from Kevin Feige on it, and he talks about how the ether is the like reality gem, and the sphere is the power gem, and the tesseract is the mind gem.
Which makes no sense. No, the mind gem
No,
is
sorry, the mind gem is in Vision. What is
Yeah,
the
the
what
mind
is the
gem-
tesseract?
space.
No,
Yes, space. Yes, because the fucking wormhole. Yeah.
But the ether and the gem and Guardians are both kind of like the power gem.
So fucking I don't know. Go listeners, please go read the Marvel wiki page about this. There's 4 gems. It
I know.
explains and there's a bunch of quotes from Kevin Feige. I don't remember all the quotes, but there's a bunch of them. Anyway,
Sure, it's
I
fine.
feel like there's so much more to talk about.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
No.
Why do people in the Marvel universe drop their kids off with the High Evolutionary?
Who knows?
Like, I mean,
Great question.
Because Black
All right,
Bolt,
all right. First of all,
Black Bolt did it.
It was a cow. All right, it was
No,
a cow
Black
nurse.
Bolt did it. And apparently, you can have your kids with the
Bova.
High Evolutionary.
Bova, that was her name.
good pull. I see you on the
he's
phone.
cheating.
No. I'm playing my video game. I'm not looking up. That was a legit Bryce memory.
You know you paid $5 for Bova in that game.
First of all,
Bova
if Bo-
DLC.
If Bova was in Future Fight or whatever this is called,
Bova.
I would not pay $5
He
for
would
Bova.
play- he would
but
play
I would,
Bova.
I would pay. Nope, I
Bova?
wouldn't pay for Bova.
My
But I
sec-
would
is that my
pay.
second
I would
Seinfeld
pay
joke this
$5 or 99 cents for a lot of characters.
Nice.
But I haven't. Anyway, Bova. That was a Bryce memory original.
All right. Is it really Bova?
Yeah,
Is it
Bova?
Bova?
What the
B-O-V-A?
fuck are you like?
So
you're my
this-
Seinfeld brother, but now you're just being a troll.
So
like
does
it's not
it-
Mulva. That is a
Mulva?
Seinfeld thing.
Jesus
it's
Christ.
Bova.
Okay, anyway.
Does anybody know why kids are dropped off or birthed around the High Evolutionary?
No, we got the joke the first time. It was a funny joke
No,
the first
I'm
time.
curious.
No, you're still going though.
Inhumans literally Zero has.
No,
Black
no,
Bolt.
it was funny. It was.
I'm curious.
No. Nobody knows, and nobody's going to answer you.
Keep going.
Okay, I'm going to talk about Archie comics real quick.
Inhumans after.
Archie is coming up with a new comic. They've rebooted other characters, much like it's Archie New 52. It's actually
I just picked up the Betty and Veronica Adam Hughes cover on.
well, you might pick up a lot more. It's hashtag New Riverdale.
God.
Is the new Archie comic series. The first series is Archie, written by Mark Waid and art by Fiona Staples, also known as artist on Saga. And Mark Waid, everyone should know. They have decided, though, that they are going to kickstart their next 2 books.
Wow.
They will have traditional print versions at some point, but they are going to, they are there's some controversy around this Kickstarter, but their next 2 books are going to be a Jughead book by Chip Zdarsky, artist on Sex Criminals, writer on Howard the Duck, creator of Prison Funnies, a very funny indie comic from back in the day, if you can find it, which is a perfect lineup. More of interest to Toby and Jim, a Betty and Veronica book written and drawn by Adam Hughes.
Nice. All right, I'll go with that. The only reason I got it is for the Adam Hughes cover.
No, you have to kickstart it to get it.
That's fine.
Maybe.
I've done Kickstarter already, so it's
Well,
okay.
here's as the concern.
Brock's comment and Jim's reaction is what is irritating retailers across the nation.
This is correct. These would be huge comics if they were in comic book stores. A lot of retailers, myself included, are frustrated at Archie for doing this, and they're way more than retail. They're not $4 comics. Like, you're paying like $10 an issue if you get them this way through the Kickstarter, because you're funding the creation of these books.
Well, what about your shipping?
I just did the same thing. I just did the same thing for Brian Pulido's Lady Death. So and I had to pay more for the hardcover than I probably would have.
Well, and the thing with a lot of these books, okay, I'm sorry, Brian Pulido's Lady Death, but stores isn't going to carry that shit. Betty and Veronica by Adam Hughes, Jughead by Chip Zdarsky would be legit sellers in every comic store in the country.
I agree with you on the Adam Hughes ones. I don't know about Chip Zdarsky.
He's got a huge
Betty and
following.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The frustration here is that the reason they are doing this is because they are short-funded due to years of mismanagement of the company. But they're short-funded because they are dumping all their new money into putting Archie comics into Walmarts and Targets. Places that have abandoned comics for, or never, actually these places never had comics.
Well, they didn't abandon the digests. Some places still
very
do have them,
few.
but very few.
There's a better chance of picking them up at frickin' Barnes & Noble than you do there.
So you have like some bookstores and shopping centers still carry Archie, which is, but again, not to the degree that they used to.
No.
Very, very few.
Try finding an Archie with like a hot stuff or a Richie Rich or something.
It's frustrating that the direct market, and especially in the last few years, Archie's strongest backers are, as we've seen multiple times now through Kickstarters, getting just completely ignored and potentially chat. Now these are Kickstarter books. I think the covers are going to be different. The comics that come out here will have different covers, so these are kind of variants.
Yeah.
But really, there is a limited audience to this type of stuff. They would sell well, but there's still kind of a limited audience. Why would I? So I've tried a few. Gail Simone's Leaving Megapolis. When Dark Horse published that, which was a Kickstarter book, I ordered a couple. I think I sold like 1 or 2. Had that come out originally here, we would have potentially sold dozens. Right? You multiply that across 2,000 comic stores, I think it would have sold much better than had she done the Kickstarter. Obviously, finding funding can be difficult, so I understand why people go to this method, but you're limiting your audience, you're limiting your fandom.
But what if they use the Kickstarter to get the initial funding? They sell the covers and stuff and stories originally on Kickstarter, then turn around and use that, and then put it into regular publishing.
Well, that's not normally what happens.
I understand that.
Right. Well, and that's what appears that Archie's going to do. But
if they don't get funding, they're not going to do it.
It would have happened. They would have made all this money from these books the first way, and so it's a bizarre story. I question their reasoning. I mean, their schedule is so off the rails these days anyway. And if you think Adam Hughes is writing and drawing 6 issues in a row of a comic, like unless they've got
they better get that done way ahead of time.
Yeah, unless they're giving them like a 4-year lead time. Toby, what was that book that he did? That last graphic novel, Hughes, didn't he do? One of the European, a European book?
Back to comics.
Like in the last 5 years or so?
He did Ferris. Yeah. Oh, was it just
Are you talking about Terry Dodson and Muse?
Oh, is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Didn't Hughes do a book fairly recently? No? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Last 5-6 years or something?
I don't remember him besides doing
maybe
covers.
it was.
Besides
done
doing
covers.
the Watchmen, I don't remember him doing interiors.
Maybe I was thinking Muse. Anyway, so I'd love to see this stuff, but frustrated at the potential shafting of the comic stores.
So you know what they need is they need an entrepreneurial comic creator. Look, the guys at Image in the 90s had the right idea, and it took them a fucking decade to figure it out, right? They're like, this two-party method is not working for us. We need more creator-owned flexibility. Let's create this company called Image Comics, which is now so successful and popular. Now the paradigm is shifting that they need this new dynamic, which is, hey, we need a comic book line, whether or not it's picked up by DC, Marvel, Indie, whatever the fuck, that is able to crowdsource, ideas that people like this story, that wouldn't necessarily be made. But hey, if we make X money, we're going to go, and get these great creators and make these awesome books.
That's what this is. But it's
right. But it needs to be less Kickstarter, more comic label, so that it can come to retailers, so that you don't have this fucking chafing on your balls.
I think what the problem here is these are established characters. This is like Marvel doing a Kickstarter, going, "Hey, if you want a Scarlet Spider book,
but I think there's a happy
pay for it."
I totally agree, but I think there's a happy medium.
Their first sentence is, "We are not Marvel and DC. We don't have an empire of money to do this with." And my reaction is, you do. You put out the issues, and then you pay the printer and the creator, and they will sell a shitload. Make that the deal.
No, but dude, I mean, okay, so I don't fucking run a comic book store, but they obviously did this because either they don't have the money and or they don't have the confidence that it would sell that many. And so you can't say oh, give it to us and you will sell that many, because if they don't have the money, then it's up to them thinking okay, Ryan Higgins times 2,000 people is going to be what gets us this money, or do we go to Kickstarter? I'm saying that some entrepreneurial person needs to be okay, look, we need to incorporate this into our business model. I mean, I don't know Image, but Image I would think could somehow fit this into their business plan, where they say, okay, some books we have this idea and it can be crowdfunded, Because there's a lot of people that fucking don't trust you to sell their books, even when you're raging about, how you could have sold it. Because there's a lot of fucking angry internet people that would say, "Oh yeah, what? Why did they go Kickstarter? We could have sold it." But for every Betty and Veronica Archie story, there are other stories like this Gail Simone one that didn't succeed.
Well, it did succeed. They put it on Kickstarter.
Okay, but there's got to be...
Some of it is also for publicity, though, too. Some of this Kickstarter stuff is for publicity.
So I don't know, but there's got to be comic book stories that are good comic book stories that didn't succeed on Kickstarter. I don't know.
But you're basically talking about the way the system is. They put it out there in previews and comic stores order it. Not everyone's going to order it, but if you put a comic on Kickstarter, you're limiting it to one run, one batch. Small press books.
And I
totally understand because these people can't afford it. But Greg Rucka puts a book on Kickstarter, and I'm like, dude, Image you would have made so much more money.
Yeah, well, that's my next point too. The Gail Simone one, if she went to Image, they would have put that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, she's a big enough a name where she doesn't need to do Kickstarter.
Right.
Well, the other thing is most retailers don't even look at Kickstarter for that stuff because there's no distribution for stores half the time.
If there was a Kickstarter and they did it right, when they've had retailer options, it's this is not. You're nowhere near close to the type of deal we get through Diamond. If they say, hey, it's $5 an issue per person on Kickstarter, right? $5 plus shipping. So say it's $8 or whatever. But you can, but verified retailers can order in quantities of 25 for $2 a book, $2.50 a book. Then I'd be down with it. That's fine. I'll gladly go outside of Diamond to get a book, but I'm not going to buy at retail or over cover price to support a Kickstarter for something that should be in stores.
So there was a book that I was looking at and didn't back, and I don't feel bad about not backing it, that I'm pretty sure was by Gail Simone and Humberto Ramos a year, 2, 3 ago, some fantasy-related book.
It was Gail Simone.
That's not Gail.
You're talking about the fairy, the Ramos one was Fairy Quest?
Yeah.
Paul Jenkins and
Yeah, it was Paul Jenkins.
Paul Jenkins and Berto Ramos.
Okay, wasn't Simone?
No.
My point is, okay.
And then Boom ended up putting out that book anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I was going to use that as an example of like, okay, why are they doing these books? Because Umberto, like, he could have sold his book through any distributor. I mean, is it just not?
It's funny.
Is it not Image giving them enough money up front?
Well, what's funny is,
like,
me and Toby, and if you listen to the Geek Box this week, and I'm sure
I'm a couple weeks behind.
If you know video games, I mean,
Oh.
Money Number 9, Bloodstained, all these huge video game Kickstarters that are coming out is because publishers will not make these games.
Yeah.
So these guys, these big names, are going to Kickstarter because they physically cannot get this game made. If Rucka took this, like, pirate book that he did to Image, if Gail Simone took this book directly to Dark Horse, they would bend over backwards to publish that shit.
Wait, so why are they not? I guess so I'm doing a bad job of explaining,
I don't know.
obviously, but like,
Well, here's the
I mean, it
funny
makes
thing.
sense.
don't know? Like,
well,
how do you
hold on.
It's money.
If Image and Dark Horse turns them away, it makes sense if they go to Kickstarter in the
Sure.
end. Yeah.
But here's the funny thing. I don't quote me on this. I don't believe Gail Simone did another Kickstarter after that. I don't believe Greg Rucka did another Kickstarter after that. I'm wondering if they're like, well, we'll try it once, we'll test it out. Cool, but I could have done this through
Well, and
Image
it
or
didn't-
Dark Horse, and
They
they
probably-
would,
yeah, I could have done
they
the
would
regular.
deal because remember, if you have something like Kickstarter, you have to publish it and pay for it and ship it and everything out yourself.
But didn't
so.
Jimmy Palmiotti do
So-
that Monolith book?
So he's done it. I don't think he's done it. That was an old DC comic that they ended up putting out. But Palmiotti is actually a really good example. He's done a number of Kickstarters. He's basically got like a series of just Kickstarter books that he's been doing. Now, I believe that he probably couldn't get those published somewhere else. He's a name, but he's not a huge name.
Yeah.
They're very, stylized books. They're not going to have
They're
the
very
biggest...
Palmiotti kind of books.
Yeah, he's very
not
hit-
going to have the
he's
biggest
very hit
market.
and miss.
He's not going to have the biggest market on those books. I could see Image and maybe Dark Horse or Boom kind of
Passing.
taking a pass on some of those
Yeah.
based off the other books he's done in a similar fashion. If you're selling 2,000 direct market and you could sell 2,000 on Kickstarter, then go to Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That's not a question. I think like, some of these books, Archie, I think, is shooting himself in the foot because the problem is this. Comic retailers are vindictive assholes, okay? We will remember.
yeah, you fucking haven't forgiven Iron Man 3 for being
I
a
will-
legitimately good movie.
Because there's so much great stuff out there, and everyone loves it, and I love all of it, and I make money hand over fist selling these comic books. I love it. The second you burn me, and it's not just me. This is the way the industry works.
There we go.
You burn a retailer's once, you're fucking. It's over. Like it really is. The roof about to collapse
the
on
fucking
us.
ceiling is coming down.
My rage is going to rip this ceiling down and kill us all.
Just
No,
so you guys
I'm not
know,
kidding.
That's his supervillain name is Rage. Just-
Hey,
Worth
he's
the
a
rage.
hero. He
Rage
was an
is a new
Avenger.
warrior.
Yeah.
Rage
He's a
is
new
a new
Rage,
warrior.
Rage.
And an Avenger.
No, hold on.
Yeah?
Ryan, would you prefer to be a superhero or a supervillain?
Maybe we'll do.
Like anybody that knows Ryan a little would be like, he's a superhero. But anybody that really knows Ryan is like, this motherfucker is a villain.
He's the Rage.
What was the line? He's one lab experiment away from being a supervillain.
Yeah,
I will kill
it's
everyone.
less than that.
So, Archie, I hope this Kickstarter fails, and I hope you release comics normally, so I can sell a lot, and so you can make more money.
Well,
I mean,
do you think it's partially due to the fact that they're trying to get Walmarts and Targets?
No. Well, no. So
How the hell would they do to Kickstarter though?
So no, it's the opposite. Their claim is they can't afford to publish these books normally and pay the creators because they've sunk all their money into this Walmart and Target deal. And it's not these books. These books are direct market or Kickstarter only. The Walmart and Target deal
all the other books.
are the digests and the traditional Archie comics. So that's apparently the problem.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a big demand for the Archie Digest and stuff anymore.
Who knows? Right? I mean, we never sell them. I don't carry them here.
Well.
And again, I understand. if the direct market's not supporting them and they want to take those books to Walmart and Target, by all means, because the direct market is not supporting those titles.
Yeah.
Walmart's not going to know what to do with the Chip Zdarsky Jughead book. I can sell that.
Yeah.
Walmart can't. Walmart can sell an Archie.
Walmart can have this small digest. Give me an actual fucking comic.
Well, Walmart can sell a digest to kids at the checkout stand. I can't, right? So if they said, "Hey, we're ending the direct market line of these books. We're only going to sell them at Walmart and Target." I mean, I'm sure some retailers would be disappointed, but the majority are not stocking those titles. But an Adam Hughes, Betty and Veronica, a Chip Zdarsky, man, that Chip Zdarsky book by itself, there's no reason that should be anywhere but a comic store because that's where the audience is. It's not Walmarts and Targets.
I'll be honest, the whole Kickstarter thing is a little iffy to me, especially if things get picked up afterwards.
I'm kind of done with support. I mean, with very rare exceptions.
Yeah.
Like I bought a CD because it wasn't going to be released any other way.
Yeah.
So cool. It was a reissue, and I was like, excellent. I'll buy this because it's not coming out any other way.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Well, a lot
that.
of times the things I supported, I can buy later on, anyways, because they officially come out.
Well,
Even
like this Bloodstained game, I'm like, meh, I don't need to support it because it's just going to come out, right?
Yeah.
So.
I kickstarted or backed the Cursed Pirate Girl book, which is a really cool book. But isn't Boom just picking this up now? I mean, they're gonna just re-release it at this point.
It came out.
Did it?
Like the original hardcover came out a while back. Like they did a couple, like I think a one shot or one issue, and then they did a graphic novel, and now Boom has Boom has it, and they're going to
So
reissue it.
I feel kind of weird about the whole thing. Or the Veronica Mars, which had distribution, and Warner Bros. Just didn't want to pay for it.
Right.
So in ways, all the people that backed it should actually are investors, and they should get money back. In theory, because that's really who they didn't have, and that's what they made the fans to be, right? I think I don't know. The whole Kickstarter is a little weird, and plus I don't know any of you guys have problems. Sometimes I don't even get the stuff I kickstarted.
Well, here's the thing, right?
I'm still waiting on stuff for a Kickstarter.
Yeah, I have a ton.
That's my biggest complaint. I've supported a half a dozen independent writers and stuff like that. Kickstarter. We're doing this big Kickstarter, and we're going to do these prints. We're going to do these books. Blah blah blah. Turn around, and then that book will come out in the comic book store, and I still don't have my book.
Yeah.
I still don't have my trade.
Or
they'll send it out and they'll go, oh, we'll send out the prints later. Oh, we'll send out the special book later.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll send out this later. Hello. I mean, come on. I don't want to be waiting, 6 months for my Kickstarter to show up.
That's where this whole Kickstarter thing is a job in the end, too. I mean, it's
this is the frustrating thing to me. Independent guy doing his own thing, has a cool idea, throws it up a Kickstarter, fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Major corporation putting something on Kickstarter, nah, that's where you're just looking for money at that point. It's like that's not how it's
like
supposed
the
to
fucking
work.
Spike Lee movie.
Did he do something on Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Did he really?
He was like angry, and I'm going to get this wrong, so apologies for everybody that actually knows that what happened. But who's the dude that did Garden State from Scrubs? That fucking kid. Anyway, so he did a movie that was funded by Kickstarter, and so Spike Lee got all hyphy that he was, what the fuck? This guy can get money for doing a movie? Like he's a filmmaker. Like he can get money from Kickstarter to do a movie. Zach Braff, that's right. Zach Braff got money to do on Kickstarter.
But I think he canceled his Kickstarter, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know the details. All I know is that I agree with you. Spike Lee shouldn't have problems doing movies.
But Spike Lee also said that mainly he did it is to show other kids that they could do this. He kind of was trying to open the door.
No, that's a fucking backpedal because it was a terrible movie.
Well, here's the thing, too. I don't care if he goes out as an individual and says, I wanted to make this movie. No studio will back me. Yeah, I'm a multimillionaire, but I don't have an infinite amount of money. I want to make this movie.
Yeah, I'm a multimillionaire, but I don't have an infinite amount of money. How much money do you think that it actually takes if you really want to make a movie?
No.
Tobias?
Not a whole lot.
Well, got Tobias.
But if you're
Give me money, people.
If you're a 75-year-old corporation like Archie Comics, that's when I have an issue. If Warner Brothers kickstarts the Veronica Mars movie, that's when I have a problem. When, big video game companies kickstart a game, they have the money, they have the infrastructure, they have the people. So that's when I kind of like.
What do you think about all these sequels in video games coming out? Because I talked to you briefly earlier today, and we're going Geekbox territory at this point.
I think it's awesome because, well, and here's the thing, and that's exactly what
and
I
those
said
are the
before.
guys that really want to do it, too.
Right. Things like Mighty Number 9, I back that. I'm super excited for that. Like I said, if the companies won't back the creative vision of the creators, I totally understand Kickstarter. I don't care. Go to Kickstarter at that point. But if Capcom went, hey, we're going to kickstart a Mega Man game, that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah, or Street Fighter 16.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all in agreement. Questions?
Yes. Questions? Anyone see the Lucifer trailer?
Yeah.
For the upcoming
No.
police procedural?
It's because you posted it, so I didn't watch it. Yeah.
I didn't.
Lucifer based
Because I know the shit I post you don't read, so I don't watch the shit you post.
based on
You have to buy us twice.
Based on the Neil Gaiman creation, Lucifer Morningstar from Neil Gaiman's Sandman, the 75-issue run Vertigo book by Mike Carey.
Wait, it's only 75
Mike Carey?
issue?
Yeah, is being turned into a episodic police procedural on Fox.
That's like you ended that sentence the worst way that I can imagine a comic going.
So, Gotham?
Don't you fucking dare try to defend this. An episodic police procedural about Lucifer?
Just wait.
You're a fucking asshole.
Just wait.
It looks good.
Oh, God. You're both the worst.
So did Constantine, and look where it ended up.
Oh!
Constantine.
Hold on. Wait, let's finish with Lucifer.
Oh, there
we'll
may be
get back
some.
to
There's
Constantine.
rumors on Constantine. Okay, hold on. We'll talk about that.
All
in a second.
right. Go to Lucifer first.
Other than the
Gotham-
fact that it's getting canceled?
So Gotham came out. Police procedural elements, but there's this overall arcing story of Gotham, and I like the finale of season 1. It had its issues. Bruno Heller, the showrunner and the writer of the 4 worst episodes of the show, needs to be fired. But
a lot of shit needs to happen with that show, personally.
Sure, but I still enjoy elements of the show. We talked about the finale last week, 2 weeks ago, last week.
Was I just not here for that stuff?
You missed it. It was at the beginning.
You missed everything at the beginning.
Yeah. iZombie.
See, you knew I was going to say something bad, so you're just going to quickly talk about it.
You said you hadn't watched the finale, so that's why we talked about it.
Did I not?
Well, you didn't watch it as of the next morning.
You fell asleep.
iZombie.
That's because it was that boring.
iZombie, a bit of a police procedural, very different than the comic. However,
In other words, Veronica Mars.
funny, quirky. I like the story. I like the background. I like Burn Notice and Psych. They're police procedurals in a fashion.
Did iZombie get
Oh, yeah, that got picked up really quick. Yeah.
What channel is that on?
CW. Really funny show.
Oh, really?
I like it. Very quirky, very funny.
Wait, so that could cross over? No, that wouldn't. They wouldn't do that.
I think they're self-contained.
No.
that
I'm
one.
sorry. I interrupted. Keep going. I'm sorry.
But Lucifer, again, this
Lucifer and CW too?
No, it's
Fox.
elements of the comic.
I was like,
appears
boy,
in the
that's a new
trailer.
departure.
Wait. Fox picked it up?
Yeah.
They'll be canceled one season.
Well, elements of the comic
Exactly.
appear in the trailer, but it feels very different. But it has some of the elements. So I'm curious where they're going to go with it.
Look at me with a straight face and tell me that you think that any Vertigo book will do well on NBC, ABC, Fox, and fucking grab your balls and look me in the eyes and be honest and tell me that you think that it would go well.
I can see Fables doing well on TV.
Fables absolutely
Fables
can.
would have, but it got beat out by Once Upon a Time and Grimm.
Yeah, but Fables was developed before those shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
they were like, "Oh, let's do a Fable show." Oh no, we're not going to
We
do
could
that.
do our own.
But we have
Well,
this Once Upon a Time show now.
A direct adaptation of the comic? No.
Thank you very much.
Okay, here's the problem. Your audience on Fox watches police procedurals because that's what normal people watch. Comic fans will watch
Dude,
any
that's
piece
fucking
of shit.
disingenuous.
No, it's
We're
not.
fucking normal people, bro.
Comic fans will watch anything with comic book characters in it. Okay, so you take a police
You're not
procedural
wrong.
for the normals, and you throw Lucifer, and you throw maybe a reference to Sandman, and I'm in. I'm sold 100%. All I need, Hellblazer.
I'm waiting to see Sandman show up.
So you must have been one of those guys that was happy with Smallville. Is what you're saying.
What's that?
So you're one of those guys that'd be happy with Small is what you're really saying.
I watched
a
it for 10
teeny popper
seasons.
drama and add in some
Yep,
superheroes.
I watched it for 10 seasons.
Horrible horseshit.
No, it wasn't. It was good.
It was horrible.
No, but dude,
shit.
Smallville doesn't work because that's Superman. Of course, people are going to fucking watch that.
Yeah, but this is
Lucifer,
the same. This is the same.
It
thing.
is not the same.
Yeah, it is. He goes comedic property and add in something normal.
Yeah, Superman's the exact same as Lucifer.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
It's just a good Lucifer.
This is just kind of this is some comic shows are going to be like this. Walking Dead is going to do whatever the hell Walking Dead does because AMC could take that risk. Fox with something like Gotham, police procedural, but it has the Batman elements into it. Lucifer, police procedural, but it has the Lucifer elements in it. So I'm curious.
But Gotham can lead to that because they had Gotham Central. Like,
Well,
you have that aspect.
there's a backup to
I
it.
wish there was a little Gotham
universe.
Central than damn show.
But here's the thing. The overarching season-long plot is the part that interests me. The police procedural part, and again, you go to iZombie, you go to Psych, you go to any of these other shows. They're the least interesting part of the show. The character, the character interactions, and the overarching plots are why we are there, right? I believe. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious. Is it going to be a huge success? Who knows? I mean, I have no idea. But I'm interested in it. I'll check it out. I hope it's good. I mean, he looks cool. He looks like a smarmy ass Lucifer. Like I like the guy they have playing him. He
This
looks
sounds
neat.
like your review.
It's a British guy. Of course, I'm going to like it.
Yeah, it's a Vertigo book.
It's a
Of
British
course
guy.
he's going to like it. It's Neil Gaiman. Of course Ryan's going to like
It's a
it.
British guy based on a DC comic by Neil Gaiman. Of course I'm in.
I don't even know
okay?
why I'm bothering.
Yeah. They could have like
If you
had
get a-
stick
if you get a
figures
chance,
for this
watch-
trailer. He
watch
would have
the
liked
trailer.
it.
I'm not going to watch the trailer.
Okay, whatever.
Dude, it's going to get canceled. And
Well, that's 'cause it's
gonna
on
be like
Fox.
your review. Like, I wish that one of our enterprising listeners would do a sound clip of you reviewing Constantine and then playing it next to this one because it was probably the
It's the
fucking
same thing.
exact
Yeah.
same.
So Constantine, however, canceled, unfortunately.
Oh,
on NBC.
yeah.
NBC.
Canceled on NBC.
Replace that with Lucifer in 12 months.
There is still talks. The showrunner even today said talks with CW, talks with Netflix about continuing the show.
How can it not?
The showrunner,
Netflix.
the showrunners,
That's not happening.
dude. Netflix is
They're picking up a lot of stuff. They're doing Full House. Come on.
Okay, dude.
They're
Okay.
doing Full House
No,
for
no,
real.
no. I'm sorry.
Isn't it Fuller
I'm
House?
wrong. You're right. I'm sorry. Constantine will be on Netflix.
Also talking with the showrunners behind Flash and Arrow,
That's more likely.
and they want to bring him on to Arrow next season.
Okay, that's more
as
realistic.
Cameo, maybe an episode or an arc or something like that, which I am, oh my
yeah.
god, all up for.
Oh, are you all up for that? Nobody saw that coming. Hey, can we go to questions? Because I don't get to join a lot. So I am all over.
Oh,
yeah,
my
no
God.
fucking
Did you finish Daredevil yet?
No.
yet? Have I not talked about Daredevil?
Well, we haven't finished it.
I haven't
Holy
finished it.
shit, dude! Daredevil was so good. Have you guys? You haven't finished
Well,
it?
we knew he was going
Did
to
you
like
finish it, Toby?
that, so.
Okay, there's
Wait, dude,
something.
how did you not fucking like?
There's something called NBA basketball playoffs right now.
We talked about it at the beginning of the episode. Yeah.
Wait. Have you not fucking? How did you watch something else and not just finish it? It's not that long.
I'm on episode 6.
I'm on episode-
Leanne
What
likes
the
it.
fuck?
I'm on episode 3.
Leanne likes it a lot, and we have not had time to sit
Yeah,
down and watch
we
it
haven't had
together.
time either.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I would have already watched it all.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you watching in lieu of?
Game of Thrones,
Flash.
Which is
Flash,
1 hour a week?
Arrow.
Oh, Ryan. Oh, your TV.
Don't get me started on Game of Thrones. I just binge watched.
Yeah.
4 seasons of Game of Thrones, and I'm like, and my first thought is, fucking Brock, man. Why wasn't I watching this from the beginning, man?
Dude, that's Comics Conspiracy All-Star moment was when Brock did that fucking shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I just finished book 5 yesterday reading it. Fucking Game of Thrones, that's a different podcast. Don't get me started. So what the fuck are you watching that you can't watch Daredevil? Daredevil
everything.
is so good and it's not that long.
iZombie.
You're watching iZombie before Daredevil? What the fuck?
The amount of
And
time.
you're saying Leanne likes Daredevil?
She
Hold on.
does.
Vertigo, book, DC.
No. I love Daredevil. No, the problem is this: we're both very busy, and our together TV watching time is severely limited these days.
I'll tell you my problem. I tell you my problem.
argue.
Well, you had the same problem with Doctor Who. Like you guys were
Yeah,
watching
I don't want
it,
to hear it.
and then you kind of stopped because you couldn't watch it together. Because because Leanne actually likes Daredevil and wants to watch
a little bit, but like we watched Doctor Who we watched like fucking 6 seasons in a row of
Doctor
Who.
Some of my Blu-rays?
Well,
yeah, 2 seasons. The Matt Smith ones, because that's where we died. David Tennant, Kelly was fucking like, let's keep watching.
Oh,
Matt
David
Smith were
Tennant's
like,
so good.
he likes custard? That's fucking lame. Like, this is fucking lame. This guy is not charming.
it's just gonna get worse.
God, if only he would be the Purple Man.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
David Tennant?
I know David Tennant's a
Yes, we
man.
got. Yes, we got.
Yes.
I don't know what
You
you're
gave me
talking
some
about.
weird ass look.
Well, I think that only 2 of the 4 people I'm talking to.
David Tennant is Purple Man in the Jessica Jones show.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. So you just don't
First appearance in
think
Daredevil.
that my comment is shocking.
Did you not hear my quiz to Charlie about how many Doctor Who characters are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah, I heard you get it wrong.
No, I didn't. He
Yeah.
just solved it.
Yeah, right away. And then he name dropped another one that you didn't think of.
That's true.
Anyway, we got some questions.
All right, questions. You wanted questions.
Yeah, I'm fucking waiting for questions. I'm like so in. I'm like a crack
Oh,
addict in withdrawal.
my other-
I missed the podcast.
My other thing with Netflix is it's easily there because my TiVo is filling up, so I have to keep deleting shit off my TiVo and watch it.
Dude, I just
So
can't
Netflix
fucking
is,
abide
Buy a bigger drive.
iZombie over Daredevil.
Oh,
like,
dude, it's called 3 NBA games or 2 NBA games a night.
I don't blame you.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying
You're just wanting
watching
him to-
iZombie over Daredevil.
I'm watching my own shows at my own time when she can't watch
So
them.
she wants to watch Daredevil and not iZombie? Yo, your girl is fucking way more bomb than you. You're like, oh, I want to watch iZombie. She's like, wait for me for fucking Daredevil.
Anyway, Derek on Twitter asks, this is actually a great question. Can you recommend some comics with Shuma Gorath? Played him in Marvel vs. Capcom, but would love to know his story. No, I cannot, because he's literally been in more Marvel vs. Capcom games than he has comic books. This is a character.
That's
I actually
true.
pulled up the wiki.
It's true.
Who is
just
this?
just to verify.
He's like a
Shuma Gorath,
DLC
the,
character, too, if you buy the collector on one of the earlier versions.
He's the Marvel's Cthulhu.
Oh, okay.
He was in 5 comics before he was in Marvel vs. Capcom. The first one was Marvel Premiere number 14, where he first appeared as like some Cthulhu-like monster. He was in a couple issues of Conan. He was in a... Oh, no, I'm
He
sorry.
was in Conan.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. He was actually in Marvel Premiere 3 through 10 because that's, I believe, the Doctor Strange story. That's like where people know him from. Is this like...
He's a Doctor Strange villain.
He's the guy with the
Quote-unquote
eye, right?
villain.
the
The guy
tactical-
with an eye.
the
Yeah,
tentacles?
he's the fucking Cthulhu
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the giant
Yeah.
eye, and he's a mediocre to good HeroClix piece.
Yeah. Now, they've brought him back in recent years a handful of times, and he's in various stuff.
Because of Marvel vs.
But
Capcom.
because of Marvel vs. Capcom.
Right.
But really, this character was in, like, nothing
Right.
prior to being in that game. It's like...
Didn't Bendis use him for
You know
a
who
bit?
it's exactly like?
Groot.
It's like Groot, exactly. Groot, I believe, was in 2 comics before the Guardians of the Galaxy comics.
Tales to Astonish.
And he was in, like, I think he was in, like, one of those, like, 90s monster, like, backup things.
Yeah.
Like, he was in nothing before
Now you
this.
could buy a plushie at Target of him.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I
Or a
cannot
dancing
recommend...
version of him.
Yeah, or a dancing version.
I cannot recommend any comic with Shuma Gorath because he's not in any.
Not anything.
I mean, maybe they collected this Doctor Strange arc that he was in from
Dude, that's
Marvel
a great
Premiere.
question.
Probably
And I
probably
bet you
get there might be an essential Doctor Strange on that one.
Yeah, he might be in something like that.
yeah,
but that's
maybe
it.
an essential, but I would bet money that they did not collect the arc that he was actually appeared in first.
Probably not. Indigator on Twitter says, well, he's got 2 questions. Let's do the first one first. Did Secret Wars 1 outsell Convergence 1? Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, industry-wide, I'm sure by a very
Don't worry,
large
Indigator.
margin.
I made sure to ask Higgins.
Industry-wide, I'm
Marvel
sure by,
won.
by a very large margin. In-store, yes, by a fairly large margin. Now, I will say
Wait,
one
did you
thing.
say by a large margin Marvel won? I just wanted to confirm that you said Marvel won by a large margin.
Industry-wide, definitely by a large margin. I mean, we
So
don't
you
have
would say a huge margin.
we don't have official numbers, but I would assume by a very large margin. In-store, by a large margin.
What is,
Houston is
large?
up of...
I think Convergence is a better story.
Here's the thing.
They're the fucking same story, you troll.
No, it's not.
Here's
No,
a
it's
couple
not.
things that people may not know. Convergence had 4 covers. Fully returnable if you ordered.
God, this is your fucking asterisk at the end of every Marvel Sells
Yeah.
Better book.
This is the DC.
I'm sorry.
No. This is Convergence should have sold better because listen to this. No. Listen.
he's saying if he couldn't have
No, let him talk,
returned
let him talk.
Convergence, then all the stores have to keep those books and sell them.
Convergence was 4 covers, 100% returnable if you ordered a certain amount. I think you had to beat your numbers on Batman. So if you ordered
the number one selling comic in history.
Right.
Okay.
Fully returnable.
Right,
So you could return every copy at no cost to you. Plus, you got an extra 15% off, meaning we would have averaged a 70% discount on the comic. Now, I guarantee you many stores did not take advantage of this because Convergence was not seen as a very big event. So I guarantee you it did not sell nearly as much as Secret Wars. Because Secret Wars is obviously Marvel's huge, gigantic project for the year.
But how many Secret Wars covers were there?
Like 20, right?
Really? I only saw... Oh, wait.
There was, I think 12 that stores had access to, and I think 6 to 8 con store exclusives and stuff. So there's a lot. But don't get me wrong, Secret Wars is a huge... I mean, I ordered more copies of Secret Wars than...
Batman?
Probably since, I think, AVX. No, I mean Marvel event-wise, I've ordered more Secret Wars than everything since AVX. So Age of Ultron, Original Sin... and then Axis, and I mean way more than those guys. So AVX still probably the big event. It's like Civil War, AVX, and Secret War is probably the big 3. I ordered more than previous events from AVX too. So we ordered a lot, and we sold a lot of Secret Wars, way more than I sold at Convergence. But Convergence did very well comparatively to what I thought it was going to do.
I love how you add the caveat of Marvel sucks because of all their variants.
No, I made a lot of money off those variants.
Well,
I sent 13 variants to some guy in San Francisco, and for a nice dollar amount. So
you want to give us his home address? just kidding, San Francisco resident.
Did he have another question?
But his main question is, what are your top 5? Or maybe we can all come up with 5 total. D-list Spider-Man villains, and why are they so awesome?
Oh my God! What? I have a whole quiz around this.
What?
Now our audience is officially deaf.
You really?
Yeah, I didn't bring it with me, but I would love to do a quiz on D-list Spider-Man. Hey, what's the listener's name?
Indie Gator.
Indie Gator, same guy. That makes sense because you said the same guy. Dude, my man. Look, Spider-Man has the best rogues gallery. Spider-Man, despite...
Third best, thank you.
Despite popular opinion in this fucking loser store...
You shop in.
That I love. Over Batman and Flash has the best rogues gallery.
At least you knew the third one. I knew you were going to say Batman. I didn't know if you were going to actually know Flash.
Oh, come on. You never shut up about
their
it.
fucking rogues gallery is incredible. I don't deny that their rogues gallery is incredible, but you know who they're not as incredible as Spider-Man's. Dude, Spider-Man has such a great rogues gallery.
Now, have you been reading...
There could be a team of Spider-Man villains that hit things with their head.
Have you been reading...
That is something that no other superhero in comics can attest to.
Have you been reading Spider-Woman? Spider-Woman. The arc since she...
Current Spider-Man?
Yeah,
you mean since I had my baby and I had to cut back on comic books? No, I haven't been reading Spider-Woman.
Okay. Not the first arc, which was all the Spider-Verse stuff. The second arc has been her tracking down... Black Cat is like controlling... I think it's Black Cat. Yeah,
Black Cat's kind of
controlling this...
Selena Kyle.
She's pulling the strings on all these D-list Spider-Man villains.
Like Kangaroo?
Like...
What about Big Wheel?
Big Wheel is in there.
How about Senor Suerte?
Yeah, you're looking at him right now. Yeah, you're looking at the cover. Yeah, fucking Big Wheel. He's so good.
Oh my God, what'd they do to Kangaroo? Oh my God.
Yeah.
He looks like a kangaroo. What do you mean, what did they do to him? Keep going.
So a lot of D-list Spider-Man villains up right now. My favorites include White Rabbit.
But White Rabbit's like almost C- list.
Leapfrog.
Leapfrog is so D-list.
Leapfrog is amazing.
Full killer.
Perfect D-list.
The Spot. I love the Spot.
No, the Spot is like C-list.
I guess. I love the Spot. Spot's stupid.
Look, if you've made your way into HeroClix, you graduate from D to C. So keep going because there's a lot of fucking D-list.
Big Wheel. I love Big Wheel.
Big Wheel D-list. Fucking Kangaroo D-list.
Stiltman.
Stiltman is fucking B- list. Don't you dare.
Stillman.
And by the way, he's a Daredevil villain anyway.
Yeah. No,
and he's in it. Did you see the stilts?
Oh, dude. Oh, I can't fucking say anything because you fucking losers haven't seen it.
Is there a Stiltman cameo in the Daredevil show?
Maybe or maybe not. I'm not talking about Stiltman. I'm talking about Turk, dude.
Oh,
Tarantula.
No, Turk.
I don't even know what Turk is.
Wait, did I get his name wrong, or do you just not know that much?
A little of both.
I'm going back to D-list Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Turk. I'm pretty sure I got that right. Dude, Frank Miller, Daredevil run. Oh, you guys are... Oh, make me so angry.
Turk.
I'm turning green.
Is it a villain?
Oh, he's a villain, but he's not.
You talking about Stick?
I'm going to run across this table and throttle the life out of you.
Why?
If you think that I'm going to mistake Turk with Stick,
I have no idea what Turk is.
I'm going to fucking break. I'm
Is
going
he-
to stand on the
Nobody
table.
knows what
and
Turk is,
urinate
man.
on your soundboard.
Is he to do
I am
with the
going
thing?
to take your headphones, break them in half, and use them as toilet paper.
Is he to do with the fin? Like a shark dude?
No, dude. Frank Miller's Daredevil run in the bar that you.
Daredevil? Turk? Okay, this is Turk Barrett.
Yep, that's him.
Stole the Mauler armor. Okay, I mean...
Okay, other than reading Wikipedia, can you get the Bryce version because it's way more entertaining? There's this hood, not a villain, but a hood.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
a-
Frank Miller. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, he was
Oh.
actually created before that. He's some fucking rando.
Yeah, but
that-
he wasn't good until the Frank Miller run. Can I fucking continue or no?
That was Mauler.
Characters.
Yeah,
He
we
was he basically just steals other people's shit and yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
if it's my turn. So Turk is in the Frank Miller run, and it's this awesome recurring kind of joke in the Miller run where Daredevil goes to this the bar Josie's. Thank you.
Spider-Man D-list villains.
So he goes to Josie's all the time, and Turk is there, and he's like this talk about D-list hood. He's like a fucking like R-list hood, and he always knows though like what's going on in the city. So Daredevil goes to him because he's always this hood that's like trying to come up with this new villainous behavior, and Daredevil always stops him. But he always comes to Josie's because Turk's going to be there, and he always beats him up and throws him out the window. It's like a recurring joke.
I have some vague recollection. I've read those books.
So Frank Miller didn't have a lot of jokes in his books, but like the recurring thing of like Daredevil beating information out of Turk and then throwing him out the window at Josie's is awesome. And then Turk steals Stiltman's armor at one point in time, and then he has to beat him up when he steals Stiltman's armor. It's so fucking good. And Turk shows up. It's almost like an Easter egg in the Daredevil show because you don't really know who he is because I think he only says his name once in the
Does he get
12
beat up?
episodes. He doesn't ever get thrown out the window, which was what I was really hoping for, but yeah, he gets beat up. He gets beat up multiple times. It's fucking such a good Easter egg in the show. I can't believe you guys don't remember Turk. Frank Miller's Daredevil run was fucking...
I read it
Can we go back to the
15 years ago.
Anyway,
Yeah, are we gonna
we got
finish
to
with
this
the
because
D-listers?
of Stiltman. We got to Stiltman because of Spider-Man D-list villains. We got to D-list Spider-Man villains because of the great Twitter question. Spider-Man has a great rogues gallery, the best of the three. But you may continue to the next question since we've covered that Spider-Man is the best.
Okay. This is from Shay.
I wasn't done.
Okay, Jim, give more.
Cardiac.
He's not really a
Cardiac
villain,
is like B or C.
Cardiac's kind of a good guy, isn't
Boomerang.
he? Oh, Boomerang's awesome.
Boomerang fucking headlined his own title, bro.
Dude,
that is the
okay.
definition of
If
A-list.
you
I'm
wanna
sorry,
see-
like I don't think that
Tarantula.
If you want to see C-list
Madam
Spider-Man,
Web.
hold on.
Wait,
hold on.
those are all BC
You're talking like good
Then we
guys
can start
now.
talking about
Madam
Shocker
Web.
and Prowler
Madam Web isn't a
and
villain.
If you want to start talking about good C-list villains, you have to read Superior Foes of Spider-Man. That book was hilarious.
It's fucking
It's great.
one of the best of last year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was such a funny book.
Top 3 Marvel books.
Yeah,
of
no, they're
last
not
year.
You are
D-list.
reading Ant-Man, right?
They're C-list, but
No, I had to cut back. It's the same
Ant-Man,
thing. We
it
talked about
is.
it. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. I would love to keep going because Superior is so good.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, next question.
Shay,
Go ahead, go ahead.
less of a question. Well, kind of a question.
Scott
he says no. He says Shay Neary on Twitter. He says
Miss you, Scott.
He says Scott he called me earlier. He called me right at 6:00
He
on a
didn't-
Tuesday.
you didn't call us?
He didn't call me.
Scott, don't call me 6:00 on a Tuesday.
Yeah, he
you know
almost-
this.
Ryan almost like, blew
AM
up.
or PM?
PM. That's putting out new book time. Scott knows.
Fucking let it go to voicemail. Why are you calling him out?
Shay says, I'm new to comics, and I've been buying trades until Convergence number 0. I was shocked at the number of ads.
Don't do it. Just stick to the trades. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I never expected 0 ads, but the amount of Convergence pulled me out of the story. Is this Marvel, and does Marvel tend to have less?
No,
it's called comic books.
Shay, Marvel's better.
They're exactly the same. They have.
How dare you? Marvel is just better.
Read image titles.
Marvel and DC have a lot of ads in their comics. You just learn to ignore them. Like,
Look,
I don't even notice them.
Let me ask you a question, Shay. Were you going onto this 0 issue, the beginning of a new story, to get new readers like yourself, and thinking that they wouldn't have advertisements?
No. He's just never read traditional comics. He's only read trade paperbacks.
He's always been trade, not single.
So he didn't realize how many ads comics have. No, I mean, there's nothing like a fashion magazine that's 89% ads. I mean, it's nothing like that. But I
like how he came up with such an exact percentage.
10 ads per comic or something like that.
You count them, don't you bastard?
Every month. So you get like every month. You get like an ad every
It's
second.
not a fashion magazine. I mean, count the fucking ads.
Every third page or something is an ad in comics. But I mean, that's just normal. And to me, I don't even see the ads anymore.
Yeah,
I don't see the ads to the point where I have flipped by comic, like full on pages of the comic, because it looked so much like a weird ad page that I just skipped it and went, oh wait, that was
this
actually
is like the 3D fucking thing you're talking about right now.
You are literally describing a problem that people that are too ingrained with the monthly floppies have, that this person doesn't have and wrote a specific question about.
Yes.
No,
so
and
way
I'm
to
telling
avoid the question completely.
No, I said it is normal, and no, Marvel doesn't have less. They both have the same amount of page.
Just stay with the trades, trust me.
Yeah. But I mean, it really...
Or go digital for anything you want. Current.
Stay in print. Buy trades.
Yeah, I would say stick with trades. I would actually stay if you can. If you said Shay,
yeah,
yes.
I just read Game of Thrones, so Shay. I'm sorry if you're a gentleman.
Different Shay.
Ooh.
If you weren't strangled by a hand of gold chain, gold chain of hands. Go with floppies. If you can handle the monthly weight of monthly books, go with monthlies, because that's how this industry was born. That's how this industry will continue to thrive. If you can't, then go back to trades, because that's the second best option. But the monthlies is how comics were envisioned and how comic books are their purest.
Nice.
He is attempting to hypnotize you at this point.
Apparently.
No, that's honestly what I believe.
Your tone dropped to a certain level, and you were like,
"Oh, like Agent Carter." I was spinning my ring. Have you guys seen Agent Carter? You probably haven't.
No.
You are such fucking losers.
I saw Agent Carter. Jesus, I saw Agent Carter.
Okay, well, I asked and you didn't say yes, and Brock said no.
Okay, I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah. It was...
Of course.
No, you guys didn't.
yeah.
They're just nodding
It was
now.
the second-
No. I was the one that was super happy with the end because I connected both of the Captain America movies.
It's the second to worst comic book show on TV. Yeah.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
It's the second to worst comic book show on TV.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, it's all the DC stuff, and then Marvel and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter at the bottom.
Wait a second. It was picked up for a second season.
Yeah.
So was Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. What happened to Constantine?
Yeah, what did happen
Better
to
show
that?
than either of those. Better show than either of those.
This fucking troll.
Anyway.
Next question.
I think we have time for one or two more here. Let's see. We got one. We got one actually from not a question. This is a comment. It sucks because we miss S.H.I.E.L.D. and Flash on airing time because we record this podcast. But
what do you mean?
David on Twitter said, "I know no one in the podcast is a fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D." But watch the finale. It's amazing. It's on right now. And I am catching up. I'm only a couple behind. Tonight's the 2-hour finale, so I don't know
This is a tweet from tonight?
Yeah, it's on right now. Yeah, the finale.
You bastard.
The finale's on right now. So I don't know that I'll be caught up by next week.
Choke on your burrito.
I don't know that I'll be caught up next week, but definitely in the next week or two, I'll have caught up to the finale, and I hope it's good. This season has been solid. It's been a lot better than season one.
The second Avengers show that I went to see, I went with my bro that doesn't read comic book. He's like, he doesn't even know that I'm into this stuff. He's like so outside of this comic book world, and he's talking to me about all these Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. facts. And as we're going,
Well,
you know what? I actually know why they're in Slovak.
So I was really surprised.
Slovakia.
No, yeah, but the country that they're actually in. Yeah.
So when
he's like, oh no, I know why they're in there. I'm like, okay, you're a huge comic book nerd.
When the Shield helicarrier came up, I was sitting there going like, oh cool, they're gonna have Coulson and the whole Agents of Shield crew, and nope, they just pretend they don't exist. They're just gone. I thought that was humorous. Well, I mean, Joss Whedon hates Agents of Shield, right? Despite being a co-producer on it.
Besides his brother being the showrunner?
Yeah. Well, this all came out post him quitting.
Do you want to give any more info other than that, or are you just going to sort of say that?
Because he killed Coulson, and he did not want him to come back. He hates the entire concept of the show. He's really mad at Marvel.
So he wasn't... in Avengers 1, he wasn't sort of responsible for him actually being in LMD? Or, I don't watch Agents of Shield. I just assume that he was in LMD. I don't know. Maybe
they do some alien...
Mumbo jumbo
on him and bring him back to life. Alien surgery. Yeah. Anyway,
in the first couple episodes, they say like, "Oh, do you know what happened to Agent Coulson?"
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell him. And then
right?
I stopped watching when Graviton showed up.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't bad, and I do want to watch this show. It's just
the one.
They lost me.
There's so many diapers.
There's
so many diapers.
I understand your pain.
Oh God!
So, would you understand mine with not watching Daredevil?
I don't understand at all.
Dude, there's like 1,000 episodes of Agents of Shield, and there's 12 of Daredevil.
And the 12 of Daredevil is so much better than fucking Agents of Shield.
We have two questions.
Sorry,
left.
Agents of Shield lovers.
Real quick questions. One from the wonderful Cross-Sex Hunter, who spent all morning arguing with me on Twitter about why Bloodstained shouldn't be on the Wii U, and I think it totally should be on the Wii U, because that's where Castlevania starts, and you gotta get off your high horse, make the game for the fucking Wii U.
No, the Geek Box steals plenty from fucking us, so we could steal fucking from the Geek Box. I don't give a shit.
But I love you anyway.
Let's talk Castlevania.
Anyway, I love you anyway.
Oh, we're not going to talk about it. God damn it.
I'm excited for that game, though. I am. I'm legitimately excited.
I'm so excited. And Ukulele. And Mighty Number 9.
Okay, Ukulele was the other one. I never had an N64. I never played Banjo-Kazooie.
And I never fucking cared about what you're talking about right now. So can you fucking get to the comic questions?
Jesus. He asks, any thoughts about Kitty Pryde's engagement?
Oh my God. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are totally mutants. Wait. Kitty Pryde got fucking engaged?
No, he's not there yet. He hasn't read Black Vortex.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Get the fuck
The book's
out.
over, so it doesn't matter.
He's kind of holding my arm a little hard. Yeah. I'm afraid he might try and break it.
As long as he's not holding something else.
Well, who else would she be engaged to? They've been dating the entire series.
No, I'm not surprised of the target of her engagement.
Yeah.
I'm surprised of the event of her engagement, you dickhead.
And now she's like,
I can't believe it.
And X-Men is engaged to a Guardians. How's that going to work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I'm not even offended or upset.
Smell a breakup.
I'm just like, that's like big news. Like, good for her. I sort of see it as a non-event. Like the marriage of Cyclops and Jean Grey. Okay, too soon. Or is it not?
No, it's not too soon.
I legitimately love the Star-Lord comic. I think it's fantastic.
Dude, so Black Vortex finished, and some very nice person... Fuck, I'm blanking on your name, dude. The dude that was talking to me with Chris Pichello was asking me about...
Oh my God.
Was asking me about Black Vortex, but just before I finished that segue, Iceman is gay! It's been like a month since I've been on this podcast, dude. That makes me so fucking frustrated that they made Iceman gay. It's like they have.
Did we talk
It's
about
not
that?
It's not the 616 universe Iceman.
Yeah,
dude, but it gets me so angry. It's like we need to hit every checkbox in like the demographic checkbox. Like,
oh yeah, we did talk about that.
It's tough because you can't say anything without making a lot of people upset. But dude,
or
like,
is the
all of a sudden Iceman is
gay all this time, and he just
exactly. And they even
I don't know. I tweeted that picture of him pole dancing on his own pole,
and they even say like, oh well, he may have been gay, but he just didn't have time to deal with it because he was a mutant during a mutant hating era or something. Like that's even a comment that they make, and it's like, what the fuck? Like you just need to make every comic like you just got to have like all every minority checked off. And I know that as a straight white male that makes me a fucking terrible like thing to say, but like Iceman is gay. Like why can't you make new characters that like have these characteristics that make them like the characters that they are? Why do you need to take existing characters and turn them on their head? Like is that Like
the internet has pulled out their bingo card. They're playing along at home. I just stay out of these conversations.
What was the last one? What was the last one? Rawhide Kid or Two Gun Kid?
Rawhide Kid. Yeah.
Rawhide Kid.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
right after Brokeback Mountain came out.
Yeah.
Rawhide Kid came out.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a Chuck Austin gem.
Yeah.
Dude, don't get me started on Chuck Austin. That guy's the fucking devil. Okay, devil's a little strong, but he's like Lucifer on Fox. He's like, right? He's like, he's fucking,
know.
he's no bueno. Look, I'm just saying.
Remember, hold on. You remember that Chuck Austin followed up Grant Morrison.
I know.
And picked up his
The more you
plot,
talk, the
right?
more I'm turning green. I can't. Just don't.
I have never.
Stop. Just don't.
I mean,
I
didn't do a 180 on that book. I did like a 720 on that book. Like, I spun around in circles when I read that first issue. It's one of the worst. It's one of my lowest points in comic reading history.
By the way, a 720 would mean that you were right back where you were when you started. Just to,
or what's a 360 plus 180 then? Do some math.
Do you want to do the math? Or do you
No, I'm totally fine.
I'd like to do the math.
Okay. Well, while Jim's doing the math.
Anyway,
it's just like Iceman is gay. Like, look, I don't mind gay comic book heroes. I don't mind them. Just can we have our original gay comic book heroes? Like, I didn't grow up reading Iceman because he was gay. I grew up reading Iceman because of how he was, and if I was like a gay youth growing up, then I would identify with different characters, and that's totally fair. But like, now they're just sort of like shoehorning like homosexuality into an existing character, and it's like,
Okay, what characters could you see as being gay?
What? What kind of question is that?
Any character that
That's
You know
new.
what I'm asking.
any character that hasn't had 60 years of heterosexuality sort of built
But
into
what
him.
if he finally changed his
I
mind?
mean, like he what?
What if he finally just changed his mind?
The Punisher.
I don't think that it works like that,
He,
bro.
he goes punishes people.
Yeah,
Change
I
your
can see
mind.
that.
If anything, your comment is way more insensitive than mine.
Do we have another
Let
question?
Anyway, okay. So let me get back to the original question, which is why are X-Men books so amazing? Well, the answer is that Bendis is
10 seconds.
he's almost at the end of his run, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to go out with a bang, and I'm going to make these books all incredible.
We need to get the train back on the rails.
And
we have one question left.
Thank you.
And it's a DC question. So Bryce
Of course.
So Bryce can shut up. I actually don't think any of us have seen this. Jim, you might have. This is from Steven on Twitter. He says, have any of you guys seen Batman vs. Robin, the animated movie? I think they took the best New 50 story and broke them. Did you watch that one?
Yeah.
I heard it's not that good.
No.
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet.
I know how DC had TV wrapped up and Marvel had the movies wrapped up.
The DC animated movies,
The DC animated movies are lacking lately. They really are.
I've liked most of them, but I haven't seen
Last one I liked was Flashpoint.
I haven't seen a handful of them, so.
The last one I liked was Flashpoint.
Well, I've seen the ad, surprisingly enough, in a single issue.
Oh, yeah,
of that
yeah.
Batman.
There's a
Animal
reason it's still
Instinct that's
sitting on
coming
the
out.
shelves at Walmart, man.
Well,
It doesn't move very good.
Animal Instinct's different. That's like a kid's thing that they're
Yeah,
doing.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's different.
I'm sorry, wait. The Dark Knight Returns, part 1 and part 2, that was really good.
Yeah.
But this one, not so much.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. They're trying to take aspects from different storylines and cram them all into one
It's like they're
issue.
taking Batman and Robin and Batman and shoving
It's like
them together.
you take a
they're
Batman
owls.
and Robin story and a Batman and Tim Drake story and a Batman and Damian story, and it's just
Right.
ugh.
Shoving
it
Batman
just
and Robin together, that sounds like date night.
Talk about gay characters.
So, Bryce,
Yeah.
Jim,
Yeah.
thank you guys for being on tonight. That's an episode.
I really miss, and I can't wait until my daughter's older and I can like come back on the regular.
Yeah. Before we leave, we do have to thank
Albert Toy
our two high tier backers on
and Ryan Hess.
Patreon. No,
What?
Ryan Hess off for now. It's fine. He can
Oh.
come back anytime he wants.
Oh,
but right now
okay.
we have Albert Soy, who got some stuff coming with him.
Can you
finally.
edit that out?
Yeah, no.
No, it's fine. Ryan Hess, we love you too.
Yeah.
And Julian Titus at the Nerds Without Pants podcast at pixelbit.com.
But apparently we will remember.
Oh,
Yeah, Ryan will
the
remember.
North always
The
remembers.
North remembers. Yes, Ryan, thank you. It's the first time all night that I've just loved you.
So thank you guys for being on this episode. Remember, you can hear all our previous episodes at geekbox.net. Go to forums at geekbox.net or the Geekbox and Comic Conspiracy Facebook group on Facebook. You could talk to all our lovely fans on there.
I think we need a
Is next week we doing the Flash episode? Is it, or is it the following?
This week is the finale of Arrow, I believe, and next week is the finale of Flash.
So next week we're doing Arrow Talk?
Next week we'll do Arrow Talk, and the week after we'll do Flash Talk.
The next season you'll have Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, World's Finest.
It's Legends of Tomorrow. I don't know. We actually talked that got officially announced. Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't like the title.
Yeah, the title's kind of crappy, but we'll bring it up next week.
Legends of Tomorrow is the official title?
Yeah.
That's a fucking terrible title.
Yeah,
That's what I think, too.
It's kind of crappy.
What happened to Brave and the Bold?
And the new
that was never the title.
Out after Convergence.
I know, but that's what everybody wanted.
Well, everybody and Ryan.
Wait, Legends of Tomorrow?
I'm just excited for Rip Hunter.
I'm excited for Kate Lotz to be back as the real Black Canary.
Oh, dude, Rip Hunter. Isn't that douche from Doctor Who?
Do you mean like the third greatest character on the show? Yeah, Rory. Yeah.
He didn't make it
dude,
84
are
hours.
you fucking like
he's cool.
intentionally trying to
No.
turn me green?
Rory's
No.
awesome.
Dude, you gotta make it to the episode and you will forever love him.
Rory is one of the best.
I can't believe that you're siding with Higgins on this. Dude,
Yeah.
that dude is such a loser.
Just keep watching.
Yeah.
Rory's amazing.
It's hard to keep watching when he's such a loser.
No,
he
here's the
makes me
thing.
want to stop watching.
Amy Pond is terrible, and you hate her the more you love him. She is the worst character that has ever been on Doctor Who.
River?
I don't hate her. I don't like
No,
her.
Amy
She's
Pond.
kind of meh. I mean,
Keep watching.
Was it?
He
we're-
comes through.
We're in the Roman episode where, like, I hope that you're not talking about the episode where he's like a Roman centurion.
That's one of the best.
Yes.
No, he's still a fucking loser.
Oh,
I hope
wow.
that's not his quote unquote redeeming episode.
That's one
Because
of them.
that is a fucking like boring episode.
No, he's awesome. Anyway,
Can't wait for Charlie to be in your bedroom and standing over you in the middle of the night. What did you say about my doctor?
You know what, Charlie? You're not that much taller than me. Okay, and the more beer I drink, the more I catch up to you in weight.
Right, he's wider than you.
He was a
Do you
slander.
remember my beer comment?
That's still. I'm just trying to help you out here.
digital.comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can go buy all these wonderful comic books we've talked about this week. Patreon.com/comicconspiracy. You can go donate some money to the podcast there. And don't forget, on our digital comic store, you can subscribe. Subscribing means you get the books sent to you directly every week or month. You don't have to keep going back to the page. And we still get our cut, so do it there.
So, if we're doing Arrow Talk next week, that's when we're going to give out some stuff.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what we're doing yet, what kind of contest, but we'll be giving out a little bit of goodies.
Yeah, Toby's been.
Will it involve a cable quiz?
No.
In an Arrow episode? In which episode did Cable show up?
It's always a good... Oh, I think that they watch cable every day.
Toby's been telling me about this for a bit. So, yeah, if you want to do that next week, we'll do that next week. 'Cause
Okay.
I believe this is the finale of Arrow this week.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I'll double check. I'll find out. ConspiratorBrock.com, that's Brock's blog. Go there and check out his video pull list and all his other stuff. The Infinite Longbox podcast and Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's other podcast. Go there and listen to him talk about Doctor Who. I'm Ryan Higgins Ryan on Twitter. Brock is Brock Sager. Bryce Larsen is Larsen Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie's Incendiary Chaos. Jim is LD Exterminator. Right?
He exterminated his hair.
Larry David Exterminator.
Living Dead Exterminator.
Lady Death
LD.
Exterminator.
Lady Death Exterminator.
And you did cut your hair. I have not seen your hair this short, apparently, in a very long time.
Or ever.
It's been a while. It's been
Yeah.
been about 9 years. So yeah.
The
Geek Box. No idea.
Ryan is so confused
No idea
right
what's
now.
going on.
Anybody?
No. The Geek Box.
Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song.
Nah, I don't watch that shit. Geekbox, Comedy Button, Good Job Brain.
Of all the shit you watch, you're such a fucking troll, dude.
And the All Talk Podcast. Those are other podcasts on our little network. Go there and listen to those. Bryce, good to have you back on. Jim, thank you for being back on.
Yep.
And
I missed you guys.
and Toby and Brock,
know.
as always.
We can tell.
Thank you.
And our book club got pushed for like a month.
Because of some issues, the
Because
book
nobody
club,
can order it?
The book club is being pushed to the end of this month, where we will review it. Charlie's been out the last handful of episodes. His book club will be announced at the end of this month, so you still have a couple weeks. GTO Volume 1, Tokyo Pop, out of print. Go buy it
luck
for
with that.
68 cents on Amazon.
What?
Yeah. It's super cheap. I mean, Volume 1's super cheap. And this
Wait,
is just
out
like
of print, but 68 cents?
like a beater, just a reader copy. Yeah, super cheap if you want to check it out. So. And that's
Or
it.
just Google it.
Thank you, and good night.
X-Men is awesome. X-Men.
What?
X-Men. X-Men. X-Men.